What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Loveshack, and today we're doing a deck profile video for you. This is one I've been trying to put together for a while, and it is going to be a Mermail deck profile, so hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. If you do, we'll ask you to give a thumbs up and a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the deck profile, what other decks you'd like to see. I'm thinking about trying to do some with DevPro or Dueling Book, one of those, for even ones where I can't maybe get all the cards in time. But I also like to do the physical profiles and kind of go through it, so who knows? Maybe we'll get that figured out. Definitely got I finally got an actual setup here amidst all the moving and everything. It's rather basic at the moment, but hopefully it looks a little bit better. And hopefully the quality of the video looks a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this. If you guys do, please support the video. Hopefully everyone's doing well out there with everything going on. And more dual overload videos coming soon too, just so you know. So I got triple Swap Frog. Now, I will apologize in advance as well. I do have one proxy in here, and it is going to be the one Ronin Totem that goes along with this. I just don't have a physical copy of Ronin Totem on hand, believe it or not. So I think Swap in general is just really good at sort of making sure that you can set up your combo plays a lot better. And I'm pretty happy with the 3-to-1 ratio. I thought about playing one dupe just to have like additional extenders, but I think 3-in-1 is pretty good. This deck is tight for space, and you know, once Master Rule 5 comes into effect, I think it's going to be really powerful, but at the same time kind of tough to make anything else fit. So let me know if you guys have different opinions on that. So double Megalo and triple Tias. Megalo is such a good card, and it's definitely crucial to the deck, but I do feel like at 3 it's kind of never going to see that much use. So 2 and 3 is a perfect number in my opinion. And I'm happy with that. I wish Tias was a Sea Serpent, but it's not. It's a Aqua, so that's unfortunate. Triple Atlantean Dragoons, most broken card in the deck. This card is nuts. It just does so much. Doesn't have a hard once per turn, so you can just continue to search whatever the hell you want. There's actually been times I was able to resolve like 3 of these in one turn, you know, without even losing a card in my hand, and that type of advantage is just insane. And of course that's possible because of Neptibus. So triple Neptibus and double Deep Sea Diva, I think these two kind of go hand in hand, because this is really like, typically you're using this to get Neptibus out, and Neptibus is just, you know, for those who don't know or remember from back in the day, send an Atlantean monster from the deck to the graveyard, add an Atlantean card from your deck to your hand. So send Dragoons, add anything, and then you get a free Sea Serpent search off of Dragoons. Not to mention, when he himself is sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster effect, you get to revive from the graveyard, so you can bring your Dragoons back. It's just an insane combo. And Diva is at 2 right now. I actually think it may end up coming to 3 on the upcoming list. I do want to talk about the ban list pretty soon, too, and what potential changes we may see there. So just food for thought, more stuff in the pipeline, and more video content on the way. One of each, Atlantean Marksman and Infantry. These are both insanely good cards, but I think they're kind of recyclable and ultimately brick if you play too many of them. And then a few one-of Mermails here. There's just like a little Mermail package, I guess is the best way to explain this. I don't think this is anything unconventional from what most people are playing, except perhaps maybe people play double Pike. But Abyss Gundy, 1 Pike, 1 Abyss Stein, and 1 Abyss Mander. This card makes True King of Calamities, which is just a silly card. Again, these are all pretty good, but you're just never really going to utilize them a ton, and they're all recyclable for the most part in the deck. So that's just kind of where it comes in. Like, Gundy is insanely good, but you can revive it, you can search it, you can get access to it whenever you need. Abyss Stein is just another really good extender. Pike searches your stuff, and, you know, we already talked about Abyss Mander. There's been times I thought about playing a second Abyss Mander just because of how practical his effect actually is. And then a few other one-ups. The 1 Ruling Glacier, the 1 Lapis Dragon. This is so easy to set up, and just ripping cards out of your opponent's hand is great. Or you force an impermanence, but you still have a decent body on the board there. And Lapis Dragon is just, if it's searched, you get to play with it. So both really good. And then 2 Gameciel. I just think the card's really good, and being a water, being a level 8, it just has a lot going for it, and I really like the card a lot. Being able to, you know, sort of set up a board where Megalo can run this over and you can out-problem cards if you, you know, don't exactly get the best opening hands, it's just a really good card. That's that. So, of course, he is also something you can discard for Swamp Frog or whatever, you know, if you need to make plays like that. For the spells, it's super straightforward. I don't think I'm breaking any new ground here, but triple Instant Fusion, triple Call by the Grave, double Moray of Greed, just a good draw card. You could play 3. I've seen a lot of people play 3, but I've opted to play a couple of traps in here, so that's why you're going to see that I'm only playing the 2 Mermail. I was trying to keep the deck space tight. 1 Abyss Scale, because it's a free search off of Megalo, so you like to have a target there if possible. This is just your way to get to Neptibus. I wish you could play this. And then Avarice is just too good in this deck. Some decks don't utilize it as well as others, but in this deck, you know, you can recycle it with recycle your Dragoons, and that's just silly. And then triple Infinite Impermanence. I'm a huge fan of the card, especially now that it's like more accessible, especially within Dual Overload. Going second is what this deck's going to do 90% of the time, although it can go first. The Calamity play and stuff does give you that option. So if you are forced to go first, there's some flexibility there. Impermanence is just too good, and now that I have them, I've just done some testing, played around with trying Ash, tried a few, you know, different hand traps. This is the best hand trap you can have access to in this deck that's not going to counteract any of your other cards. I think Phantasme is decent. You know, it's level typing, synergizes with Megalo too, but I think Impermanence is pretty straightforward. There's no need to overthink it with something like that. So if you're gonna play any hand traps, Impermanence is the way to go. Otherwise, just go full traps, you know, because there's no point. Extra deck's a little bit of a work in progress, so bear with me here because it's not perfect, but this is what we're working with for the time being. I got 1 Brio, and that is pretty much the only synchro. I really like Coral Dragon too. I think it might be a better option. This was just kind of like, what water synchro do I have that I can put out there and try to make it work? So TBD on that, whether or not that's something I'd actually keep in there. That's the only synchro I'm playing at the moment. A couple of rank 7s, Abyssgaios and Big Eye. Some people don't like this card. I do think it's still pretty good, especially if you can make it and get a scale on it. You can give your opponent a tough board to play through, and negates effects and attacks. Big Eye's still good. This would probably be my first choice to axe, though, just because it's not as good as you might like to think, and you have access to the 8, so something like Dingirsu might be worth looking at too. The instant fusion targets, I've got Thousand Eyes Restrict. That obviously ladders up into Link Kuriboh, so you can do other things there. And then the Mud Dragon, just because it's level 4 for Bahamut. For the other Xyz, Calamities, this card is nuts. Anyone that, you know, you're gonna know Calamity. 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Bahamut Shark. I've always loved this card. I thought this card was just such a fun, you know, bring out Toad, get the search off Dragoons. It's way too good. And Abyss Dweller is even better in this deck because he gets buffed by the fact that he's a water monster. 2 Totally Awesome. Yeah, I know, it's another proxy. I was actually only playing 1 until I got the Swamp Frog engine in here, so now it's definitely a 2 of for me. It's a negate, it's a recursion, Totally Awesome is just totally awesome, I guess. Right, and for the links, I've got 2 Link 1s. I've got Link Kuriboh and Relinquished Anima. I think Anima is a really good card. I think it really should be getting some attention, especially with Gameciel in a deck. Any deck that's playing a Kaiju, this basically says, okay, take the monster, link away into it, use your extra Neptibus. It's just way too good of a card. Link Kuriboh is still pretty good, too, because it is a solid going first. But you really don't want to go first. And again, this is just one of those things, like I said, the extra deck's kind of a work in progress. So Link Kuriboh would likely be the next thing to go if I do decide to find space for, you know, some other synchros and stuff. The 1 Cross Sheep, just really good. Instant Fusion, Revive Dragoons, make more combos. Mermail Abyssalacia, this is the, I guess you say the boss monster for the deck. She does have some useful effects, though, and does boost all your water monsters that she points to. And then the 1 Boral Sword, just to sort of enable and push the OTKs forward, which the deck is pretty good at doing already. So, yeah, like I said, it's a pretty straightforward deck. I really like the combos with Abyssmander and being able to make VFD. But, you know, there are other plays you can do, and anyone that remembers Mermail from back in the day, having access to 3 Dragoons makes it so your chance of having a bad hand is much less. It does happen. Somehow break multiple Called by the Graves, among other things. But I think overall, this is a pretty solid foundation build. Some people might want to tweak it a bit, and I definitely wouldn't blame you. I'm not 100% thrilled with the final product, but maybe I'll do an updated video a little bit down the line when I do sort of figure out what I'm really happy with. Given the state of the world right now, I haven't had a ton of time to actually go and test this, so as you can imagine, it's not perfect. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe for more. See you with another video pretty soon. Check back, I think later this week we're going to have another Dual Overload opening, and then back to a discussion or a deck profile video towards the end of the week, so keep an eye out.